At first, money feels fragile. You check your bank account more often than you'd like to admit. A single unexpected expense can throw off your entire month. You hesitate before buying things, not because you don't want them, but because you're unsure how safe you really are. Even when you're doing okay, it still feels like one wrong move could send everything backwards. And most people assume this feeling doesn't go away until you're rich. They think everything changes at 6 figures. Or $1 million. Or some massive number that feels impossibly far away. But that's not actually true. There's a much smaller milestone, one almost no one talks about, that completely changes how money feels in your life. That number is $25,000. And once you reach it, things start to work very differently. I've spent an unhealthy amount of time thinking about money, not just how to earn it, but how it changes the way people think, act, and make decisions. And what I've noticed is this. $25,000 isn't about being rich. It's about crossing a psychological line. Before this point, money controls you more than you realize. After it, you finally start controlling money. Here's why. Most people think financial progress is linear. Save a little, feel a little better. Earn more, feel proportionally safer. But that's not how it actually works. In reality, money moves in phases. And the first phase is survival mode. When you're below $25,000, your brain treats every dollar like it might be the last one. You don't just think about money, you feel it. Every purchase comes with friction. Every bill carries tension. Every decision feels heavier than it should. It's not because you're bad with money. It's because your brain is optimized for survival, not long-term planning. When resources are limited, your mind zooms in. It focuses on short-term problems. Immediate risks. Small trade-offs. Coffee today or groceries tomorrow. This bill or that one. You're constantly pushing a heavy boulder uphill. Progress is slow. Exhausting. And no matter how hard you push, it always feels like it could roll back down at any moment. Now here's the part most people don't expect. The moment you cross roughly $25,000, that boulder reaches the top of the hill. And gravity finally starts working for you. Suddenly, the same effort produces more progress. Not because you're smarter. Not because you found some secret investment. But because the pressure eases. You're no longer operating in pure survival mode. At this point, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop obsessing over every small expense. Not because you don't care, but because you don't have to. A minor emergency doesn't feel like a disaster anymore. It feels like an inconvenience. Your decisions slow down in a good way. You're not reacting anymore. You're choosing. This is where money stops being emotional and starts becoming strategic. And this shift has nothing to do with luxury or status. In fact, most people who reach $25,000 don't change their lifestyle at all. What changes is their confidence. You start trusting yourself. You've proven through action that you can earn, save, and protect money. That you can delay gratification. That you can build something over time. And that proof matters more than the number itself. From here on, progress accelerates. Not magically, mathematically. When you have $25,000 invested, even modest returns start doing noticeable work. The growth you used to fight for now happens quietly in the background. Your money earns money. And for the first time, it actually feels real. This is why the next $25,000 comes faster than the first. Not because life gets easier, but because you do. You make better decisions because you're not panicking. You take smarter risks because you have a cushion. You think in years instead of weeks. This is also when your relationship with work starts to change. You're no longer desperate. You're still responsible. Still realistic. But you're not trapped. You can say no more easily. You negotiate differently. You walk away from bad situations faster. That quiet confidence changes how people treat you even if they never know your numbers. And here's the dangerous part. This is where many people sabotage themselves. They reach $25,000 and mistake stability for success. They inflate their lifestyle. Upgrade everything at once. Turn security into obligation. The boulder rolls back down the hill. The real power of this milestone isn't spending more. It's needing less. If you protect this phase, if you let it compound, something even more important happens. Money stops being the center of your life. It becomes a tool. A buffer. A support system. A way to buy time, clarity, and options. You're no longer constantly reacting to life. You're designing it. And that's why everything changes after your first $25,000. Not because you're rich, but because you finally stopped surviving and started building.